Bienvenidos a Lima. Welcome to Lima once again. My name is Vanessa Vasquez. I am your Lima City tour guide. And today we're going to have a very interesting event dedicated to the history of Peruvian music. Peruvian music over time. We're going also to have a karaoke session and a trivia about the history of Peruvian music. So if you are new to Peruvian music, South American music, but you're interested in this topic, in this theme, I'm sure you're going to find this event very enlightening. So once again, my name is Vanessa. I am an official tour guide here in Lima, Peru. I do tours since 2006 here in my city, and also I travel regularly with tour groups around my country. So music, it is a way also to understand the heart of people anywhere around the world. And I think you're going to be able to understand better who we Peruvians are through listening to our music, through learning about which ones are the origins of the music we listen nowadays, and it is identified as Peruvian music. So you can hear, I hope, a little bit of the music in the background. Let me know if you are able to listen to the music. There is a little bit of music in the background. So this is just a little introduction, more modern music. Today we're going to, I think, begin with this session that probably is going to be brought back eventually, because I don't think we're going to be able to cover it all, but just in case, I have music until the contemporary times, and maybe also we can later dive in other directions. Okay, so before we do that, first of all, let me know if you are able to listen to me, you're able to hear me correctly, you're seeing correctly the image in the screen. This is a live event from my home here in Lima, Peru. Also, I would like to test if you're able to send me a message. We have activated the chat. So if you can just send a message like a hi, just I can see maybe if everything is okay on your end. And we're going to have also some questions. Hola, Natalie, thanks for coming. And also thanks for suggesting also this theme. You were the person who suggested last time to talk about music, Peruvian music. So muchas gracias. Thanks for coming. Also, if you wish to donate and support this type of events, any donation is highly appreciated. In the description of today's event, you're going to find also, just give me a second, you're going to find the all the forms and methods also you can support. Also, if you are in Lima, you can also send me a message. I can be your tour guide here in the city. So I'm just trying to lean to the computer so we can begin with today's event. We're going to have some music cuts for a moment. And well, I hope you are able also to find interesting this event. So we're going now to flip the camera to the other side. And let's have a little introduction to Peruvian music. So how many of you have listened to Peruvian music before? Or what do you think is Peruvian music also? I would like to know, for you, what is Peruvian music? Which rhythms you identify as Peruvian? Most of the times when I do this question to travelers, they immediately think about the Andean, like, for example, pipe flute, the harp, maybe music connected with the Incas traditions, the indigenous traditions. But Peruvian music is so much more than just one rhythm, right? So we're going to dive in today's let's say, history lesson. Also, it's going to be a little bit of a history lesson, but we're going to be able also to have trivias during the day. So this is my first trivia, and I would like to know also how much you know about Peruvian instruments. Okay, so the first question I have for you is the oldest musical instrument found in Peru was the antara, which is pretty much a modern version of the antara is the instrument you see there. So when do you think that instrument was first used in Peru? When in the history of Peru? You know, when was the play for the first time this antara? So we have here three guessings. If anyone wants to guess also, you know, how old this instrument is in Peru, you can just send a message. 5,000 years before Christ, 3,000 years before Christ, 2,000 years before Christ. Thanks, Natalie. Natalie is guessing C. Anyone else would like to guess? And by the way, Peru is an ancient society. We have basically, you know, like not just the Incas, of course, as great empires in this part of the world. We had many different empires in the pre-Hispanic times and cultures. Being the oldest civilization we have in Peru, within the Peruvian territory, Caral, which dates back nearly 5,000 years ago, right? 3,000 years before Christ. Okay, so we have the guessing of Natalie, being 2,000 years before Christ. So now let me tell you the answer to this question. The oldest musical instrument found in Peru is dated back 5,000 years before Christ. 5,000 years before Christ. And we know that those first instruments were made usually from bones, animal bones. So I would like now to play some music for you. We're going to have some few, you know, like music cuts today. And we're going to have the chance also of seeing also some videos for moments. So we're going just to check on this. So before we go to fully immerse in the video, I want to give you a little information about the person that is there. Dante Ayala Poma is a friend of mine. He is an expert in musical instruments from the pre-Hispanic times. We even had the chance back in the days of Heygo to having him on one live event I did, and he was playing musical instruments from the past. So you can see also different types of elements displayed, including skulls of animals, blow, like flutes or whistlers. In the pre-Hispanic times, music was starting as a way of imitating the singing of animals, imitating the music of nature. Nowadays, there are shamans, healers, who still use music as a way of treating diseases, spiritual diseases and physical diseases. That shell you see over there is a strombus, is from the warmer waters from Ecuador, Colombia. can also access to more videos like this in the YouTube of Dante. We're going also to jump a little bit ahead in the video.
Helen Hansel was able to win.
Sorry, we have some
she took part in. She was
always
contest queen.
advertisements on YouTube. You're seeing here is a drum. Societies such as the Nazca culture played this type of instruments, the creators of the Nazca lines. And we have Dante using as a whistler the skull of a deer, an Andean deer. So we're going to make a stop here on this video. We're going to be playing just minutes of our videos. You can also access to the full content of Dante online. He has a YouTube channel. I highly suggest you to do that. So in this first section of this lecture, you can see that pre-Hispanic music was associated with magical elements. Nowadays, it's very interesting to see that there is a segment of the scientifical, let's say, experts that considers that music, a special type of rhythms, in the music, can also cure, can be used in treatments against, for example, cancer, right? Pre-Hispanic societies and also ancient societies around the world use music to heal. So they were really not that distant to that new concept we have nowadays about music as a medicine. So we have now another time of the history. Just give me a second. I'm going to now play another moment of the history of Peru. Sorry if I am, too close to the camera. And we have another trivia here, okay? So, which musical instrument was the most introduced and most accepted in Peru after the conquest, the Spanish conquest? So which one you think was the most accepted instrument, musical instrument, after the conquest of the Spanish? We have letter A, guitars. We have different kinds of guitars, by the way, in Peru. Sometimes we have small ones like guarango, for example. The charango is one of the musical instruments you're going to find connected with the time of the conquest. Harps, violins, or maybe all the above. Okay, so if anyone wants to participate, that would be super great. We have these musical instruments that are connected with the coming of the conquistadors. Okay, Natalie, thanks for commenting. Natalie's option is letter D. Okay, so if anyone wants to participate, just let me know. You can also comment here. And when the Spanish came, by the way, music related with magical purposes was completely eradicated. So it was immediately swept away, as well as all the manifestations of the religion of the indigenous. And the indigenous, they found a way to survive or to keep their traditions through mixing their traditions with the now, like imposed Catholic faith. Music was also a way to do that, right? The answer, by the way, is all the above. Thank you, Natalie. Guitars like charangos, harps, and violins are still present in the traditional music of Peru, music that we now consider traditional, but that is really from a Spanish influence. So we're going now to play another video. We're going, of course, we have always some publicity first to support the local channel. And now we are going to play music. This is the Hanak Pachang Kusi Kuining. What is this music? This is religious music from the colonial period. We can identify this music as Baroque music. The first polyphonic composition made in the New World was in Quechua. This is a composition from the 16th century dedicated to Virgin Mary. It was very important for the church to help indigenous understand the faith through their own language. So the music you can hear in this moment is solemn, is indeed very Baroque, and it was played in the church for religious purposes. In these new compositions of the New World, it is necessary to adapt certain parts of the speech using words that the indigenous could understand. There is a moment in the song in which the heavens are referred as Hanan Pacha. Hanan Pacha means the world of above in Quechua, because there was no understanding of heavens and as well of hell. For the indigenous, there was no heaven or hell. There was no sin as understand it in the old world. So for them, Virgin Mary lived in the Hanan Pacha, where God, the sun, the moon, Jesus cohabitated. So with this little excerpt from the song, we are going also to make a little stop here. And I would like also to tell you a bit more, because the intention is that you do your own research. So the song is called, as you can see over here, Hanak Pachak Kusikuining. And it refers to the upper world, the world of the heavens, the heavenly world, where Virgin Mary prays for us and protects us. So now we're going to continue with our investigation of the history of Peru through music. So let's go also to, again, our music. And we're going now to continue with another trivia. Okay, so we are now learning the basics of the history of the music of Peru. Peruvian music is influenced by the pre-Hispanic music, which was basically religious. Then later came the Spanish influence, also religious music. But we have one additional group that came to Peru and introduced their own legacy, but in a way that was not very open, to be honest. Because we're talking about the African slaves. So the next question is, what is the most important musical instrument considered a legacy of the African immigration to Peru? So we need to know, of course, that the African immigration was forced immigration. We had slaves brought mainly from Angola in the 16th, 17th century. So what is the most important musical instrument? Let me tell you, because I haven't had any answer yet about this question, let me tell you the name of this musical instrument. It is the Peruvian box. Cajón peruano is a percussion instrument. We know that its origins are very humble, very modest. Slaves were not allowed to entertain themselves as they please. They had a very controlled lifestyle. They had a controlled, like a movement. So we're going now to continue with our exposition. And now you can see and hear Peruvian African rhythms, or Afro-Peruvian. That is the Peruvian box. Let me amplify this. Yes, Natalie, drums in a way also have influence, but Peruvian box, that one you're seeing, is a legacy, a creation, a construction of the African slaves in Peru. And that's why we call it Afro-Peruvian. Extremely festive music, contrasting with the situation of the slaves. Oh, great to know, Natalie. Thank you. Let him know about the Peruvian box. Afro-Peruvian music that was born in the coast of Peru is an expression of the importance of the African influence in our culture. Excellent. So here we are. And it was very important also for me to share with you the Afro-Peruvian influence as well, right? So we will now continue. Again, we're going to travel a little bit more in time, more to the present time. And I want to also sort of like, we are coming to the last songs of today. There is a famous poem that is called Me gritaron negra. They screamed to me black. It was created by a Peruvian poetess and also singer Victoria Santa Cruz in the year 1960. And the reason why I wanted to share with you, besides it has a very, very powerful message related also with the discrimination many people of black ancestry or origin had in Peru until that time. We are fighting still about it. It is translated into English. This is Victoria Santa Cruz and her own story in a poetry. She tells the story of when she realized she was black.
De pronto unas voces en la calle me gritaron negra. Negra, 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 negra. ¿Soy acaso negra? Me dije. Sí. ¿Qué cosa es ser negra? Negra. Yo no sabía la triste verdad que aquello escondía. Negra. Y me sentí negra. Negra. Como ellos decían. Negra. Y retrocedí. Negra. Como ellos querían. Negra. Yo di mis cabellos y mis labios gruesos y miré apenada mi carne tostada y retrocedí. ¡Negra! Y retrocedí. ¡Negra! 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 Y pasaba el tiempo, siempre amargada. Seguía llevando a mi espalda mi pesada carga. ¡Y cómo pesaba! Me alacé el cabello, me volvé la cara, y entre mis entrañas siempre resonaba la misma palabra. ¡Negra! 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 Hasta que un día que retrocedía y que iba a caer. Negra, 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 negra. ¿Qué? ¿Y qué? Negra, sí, negra soy, negra, negra soy, negra, sí, negra soy, negra, negra soy. Yo en adelante no quiero laciar mi cabello, quiero, y voy a reírme de aquellos que por evitar, según ellos, que por evitarnos algún sinsabor llaman a los negros gente de color. ¿Y de qué color? ¡Negro! ¿Y qué lindo suena? ¡Negro! ¿Y qué ritmo tiene? ¡Negro, negro, 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 negro! ¡Al fin! ¡Así comprendí! ¡Al fin! ¡Ya no retrocedo! ¡Al fin! ¡Y avanzo segura! ¡Al fin! ¡Avanzo y espero! ¡Al fin! ¡Y bendigo al cielo porque quiso Dios que negro hasta más se fuese mi color y ya comprendí! ¡Al fin!
So here we have this beautiful poetry, which is related with also the feeling of the Afro-Peruvian people back in that time, in that period, the 60s, the 70s, related with the discrimination. But this was also a time when they were allowed to speak up about their feelings. They were given opportunities also to address these issues in front of a television, in the medias, through the music, through their composition. So we still are in that process to deconstruct that image of colorism that we were inherited during the times of the colonial period. And we're coming to the end of this event of today. We've been chatting for 30 minutes with this song, which is La Flor de la Canela. La Flor de la Canela probably is one of the most famous songs, compositions that Peru has. And it was made by Chabuca Granda. Chabuca Granda, one of the best and most famous singers of Peru. She was a composer, singer. She dedicated this song to a friend of hers, Victoria Angulo. This was an Afro-Peruvian woman. Chabuca Granda composed this song when she was 29 years old, and Victoria Angulo was nearly 60 years old, and she was very much loved by her. So we're going to put this song here, right? We hope we can just see it right away. Remember that we have always some, let's say, advertisements in the beginning. But now we can also play the song, and we're going to sing together in this part of the song. This is La Flor de la Canela. Déjame que te cuente, limeño. Déjame que te diga la gloria del ensueño que evoca la memoria del viejo puente del río y la alameda. Déjame que te cuente, limeño, ahora que aún perfuma el recuerdo, ahora que aún se mece en un sueño el viejo puente del río y la alameda. Jazmines en el pelo y rosas en la cara, airosa caminaba la flor de la canela, derramaba lisura y a su paso dejaba aromas de mistura que en el pecho llevaba. Del puente a la alameda, menudo pie la lleva por la vereda que se estremece al ritmo de su cadera. Recogía la risa de la brisa del río y al viento la lanzaba del puente a la alameda. Déjame que te cuente, limeño, ay, deja que te diga, moreno, mi pensamiento. A ver si así despiertas del sueño que entretiene, moreno, tu sentimiento. Aspira de la lisura que da la flor de canela, adornada con jazmines, matizando su hermosura. Alfombra de nuevo el puente y engalana la alameda, que el río acompasará su paso por la vereda. Y recuerda que jazmines en el pelo y rosas en la cara, airosa caminaba la flor de la canela, derramaba lisura y a su paso dejaba aromas de mistura que en el pecho llevaba. Del puente a la alameda, menudo pie la lleva por la vereda que se estremece al ritmo de su cadera. Recogía la risa de la brisa del río y al viento la lanzaba del puente a la alameda. Bravo, bravo. bravo. We have here
When you want to sort out your Mac
one
once and
of
for
the
all, what
most
do you do?
famous songs of Peruvian music, La Flor de la Canela, composed by Chabuca Granda. So, in other chapter of this musical trip in the history of Peru, we're going to have the chance of exploring the history of modern music, right? Music from the present times. Music like rock, for example, and cumbia, and other very interesting rhythms that are contemporary but are connected with all of these rhythms that we were able to see and to hear today. I hope you enjoy today's event. Thank you so much for coming, for participating. And before we finish, we wrap up our event today, I would like to invite you also to next week event. I am also about to post the event here on YouTube, and it's going to be a history lecture. So I want to also announce that the content of next event from home is going to be about the myths and lies connected or made about the Incas. So there are lots of myths about the Incas and lots of lies about, who were the Incas. We're going to address the most famous of those, like stories that, because they've been repeated for so long, even many Peruvians ended up, accepting us as real facts. So I will post this event very soon, a little bit ahead in the day. This event is not going to be recorded and posted later on YouTube. There will be events that will be also posted. And I think next event is going to be one of those. So this one is more for entertainment purposes. So I hope you enjoy it, and you can come and you can also give me a like if you like it. And well, if you can, please support this channel. Thanks a lot, and see you very, very soon. Thanks once again to my friends who were here, and also to Natalie for suggesting today's event. Muchas gracias, amiga. So take care and have a lovely, lovely rest of the day and a great, great weekend. So see more content of my channel here on YouTube and also on Facebook. All the information of my channels is in Facebook and YouTube. So see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day. See you.